All right, well, welcome. It is April 11th. It is our comprehensive planning meeting. Thank you everyone for being here. So we'll jump on to the agenda. Our first agenda item is approving the meeting minutes from our last meeting. Did anybody have any questions, comments, corrections? No? Okay. Perfect, we will call those approved. The next item.
I'll go ahead and create a PDF and put them on the web page.
Oh, wonderful, thank you. Hi, Ryan. Oh, I don't know if we can do that. Hi, Ryan, we're just getting started. We were just discussing the meeting minutes for the last meeting in March. Did you have any corrections or questions or comments? You are muted. I did ask to unmute, or you're welcome to put things in the chat if you are not able to unmute. Okay. Next item is discussing the .org versus .gov migration and any updates on timeline. So Mark, I know you had some thoughts on this. I did hear from Supervisor Vestola. I didn't have a chance to check in with him on my way in, but they are expecting it to potentially take in the 3-month timeline. So my concern is, as far as our process goes, I don't want to start printing email addresses and website addresses on ads and postcards and flyers and distributing them to the community if halfway through those are going to no longer be correct.
I kind of got into it a little bit on the side, to make a long story short, with Kate Crowley.
Okay.
And Christopher and Eileen, and I tried to talk them out of it. In my opinion, there isn't really a reason to make the change, but Chris is determined. He wants to get on board with what are guidelines from the state of New York for having basically the domain would be candidice.newyork.gov. So he's I think he's decided to move forward with that, and I guess I just stay in touch with Christopher and Kate on the details and the timing of that. You know, they'll move the website to the new domain and address anything else, and like I say, they'll be the point people for it. So check with them going forward.
Okay. Now, and this may not be a question anybody here can answer. I would assume for a while the .org would stay active and redirect to .gov. Is that?
That's what I've been told.
Okay.
That should be correct.
Okay.
So we could still use the .org.
So if somebody sent the .org and it changed to .gov, it would go to .gov?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think if you typed in candidice.org, it would automatically redirect you to candidice.ny.gov. Or
It's gonna be candidice.ny.gov, right?
Correct, but even that may change. That's what the state guidelines are for it. So I'm assuming that's what it'll be. But like I say, you really need to keep in touch with Christopher and Kate.
Okay.
And you are correct. It will redirect for some amount of time. I heard informally discussed it would be a year, but I don't know. Like I say, talk to those guys for details.
Okay. Okay, so I'll chat with them about that. So that's kind of one piece of the issue with that migration, and the other piece would be when we set up our MailChimp account, our username will be an email address. So my thought is that it'll be sort of a generic info at whatever the domain name is. So I just need to see if we set it up as a .org, can we then change that in MailChimp? Or are we locked into what we set it up as originally?
Or will the emails also redirect? I'm assuming they will because the whole town has to have their emails redirected. You can't.
Yeah, but
Assume.
we'll want the MailChimp account to be able to be set up for years to come. So if they're only redirecting for a year, we don't want that MailChimp locked into an email address that's only gonna redirect for a year.
I'm sure you can change.
And there may be ways to change it, I just would want to confirm that that's possible. So as long as that's possible and the website is going to redirect for a year, I think that should be plenty of time.
So you're gonna use the MailChimp as the email server.
Correct. Correct. We seem to qualify for the free service plan that they have. You can send up to, I believe it was 1,000 emails a month through that. And so that's like, if you have 250 subscribers, you could send 4 total different emails. So I think that we would be able to fall within that service plan for quite a while we build subscribers, and then if we ever get to the point where we need the next level of service, I believe it's $13 a month, and it goes up to $5,000 or 5,000 emails per month. And the MailChimp does also have survey capabilities within the free service plan. I just need to get in there and play around with it a little bit and see if it's gonna have all of the capabilities and functionality that we want in a survey platform. If not, we'll have to go with something like Survey Monkey that may have just a little bit more functionality in how we process the data. And I'm really concerned how we get the data out and how we can manipulate that. Okay, so we'll keep posted on that. And I guess closely tied with this, it's not technically a agenda item, would be once we have our survey ready to go, once we have all of our mailing materials, our postcard, all those kinds of things ready to go, how long do we want to leave the survey open for? Do you know how long it was open for before, Mark?
Well, the surveys that I was involved with were all done by mail. There wasn't, there wasn't, the internet wasn't really a thing yet. So I don't know how they did the more recent ones. I think those were also mail too, but I could be wrong.
I think the last one they used Survey Monkey.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't leave it open more than the month, at the longest 4 weeks.
Do you think 4 weeks is enough? I was wondering if we,
Well, it depends if you do multiple mailings, I mean, to remind people. I mean, get into print ad mailings and flyers. I apologize for not being at the last 2 meetings, but I think print ads are probably a waste of money.
even in things like the penny sale?
Yeah. I think mailings would be more effective because they actually get to people, and actually I had a couple of people comment on the postcards they got regarding short-term rentals.
Yep,
So that goes to all property owners. If you make it enough where people can see it, Print ads go to, you know, the penny saver, you got two different penny savers that actually cover us.
Yep.
And I have no idea what their pricing is, but they can't be cheap.
I believe it is in the $400-500 range.
Yeah, so a
each.
mailing's gonna be what, 500-600?
I,
Print the postcard,
we have to print the postcard.
well, you got 1,000, potentially 1,000 different addresses. What is a postcard now? 40? I have no idea. 45 cents,
Let's
Neither do
call
I.
it 50. Just to be.
50 cents, so that's $500. And to print the postcards, I think you can, I mean.
Yep.
You can use the same, you can print 2,000 or 3,000 postcards for what you can print 500, so you do. Order X amount and then send out 2 batches or 3 batches. I don't,
Yeah,
you know, for what you're gonna get for print ads. I just, and if, you know, if people wanna use paper. They can stop at the town, you know, you can tell on the postcard, stop in the town hall, and pick up your paper.
yeah, I think that's really interesting feedback that we could really realistically do an entire extra mailing for the cost of
Print ads.
print ads.
And how many print ads you're gonna do? I mean,
Probably just
I don't think we've had people beating our doors down for alternate planning board members or. You know, and there's been print ads for that. I
Even for
don't,
jobs.
even for, well,
When I had a position open in a print ad, I didn't get a single response from it.
right.
So how are they gonna return this? Is it through email? They're gonna return what we're talking about email?
Yes, so the,
Send it out in May.
so no, they will only get a postcard,
Okay.
letting them know, and remember last time we read through some of that draft language?
Oh, I remember that.
We'll review that again.
Yeah.
I took some of the comments, so we'll review that again. That's actually a next agenda item, so that, I'll get that right pulled up. So we'll take a look at that and, the postcard will tell them a little bit about what a comprehensive plan is. That the survey is available, we'll have a code so they can scan it.
The survey,
And, it'll say where the website is, they
it's
can,
all done electronically.
it's all done electronically, and then we'll let them know if they want a print, if they want a hard copy. That we'll have some available here at town hall.
That's pretty good.
So you're gonna scan, you get the postcard, it's got a QR code, you're gonna scan it with your phone.
Yeah.
Are you gonna answer all these questions on a phone?
That's totally up to you.
Or is it, I mean, is the Survey Monkey mobile friendly, I'm assuming?
Again, I mean, I'm hoping to be able to use the MailChimp program and be able to house all of our needs within one program
Yeah.
instead of going with the two.
But I'm just
Uh,
wondering if MailChimp is,
I have to get in there and get
Try it.
that, I have to get that account set up still, and it's sort of pending this .gov thing, or I would have already pulled the trigger on that, so.
Is there an alternative to using your phone? Because I know a number of people.
Yeah, so the website will be also on the postcard, yeah. So they can pull up the website on their computer, or they can scan the code with their phone.
Well, you'd print the URL under the QR code, and it would be a simple. You know, to get started, it would be a simple, in my mind, it would be a simple URL to a town web page, which explains what the comprehensive plan is, and then from there, whether you're on a mobile device or a PC or a notepad, you click on a link to get into the survey. So I think, at least in my mind, what we've been kind of talking about, and Caitlin, that sample QR code I generated after the last meeting and sent to you, I mean, that was a URL on the town's website that, like I said, a brief explanation of the comprehensive plan, and then from there, you know, they would link to the survey site.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so I just wanna, before we get into reviewing the draft language here, I wanna circle back to what Birch said. Does anybody else have any additional feedback on scratching print ads and using that money to potentially do a additional mailing instead?
It makes sense.
Yeah, I
What's
think
what's the budget for mailing print ads?
Feelings, who's gonna ask me?
And you just happen to know.
I just happen to know. We budgeted $2,500 for mailing. And $400 for printing. We budgeted,
400 for printing out printed ones or print ads? No,
I think we budgeted additional, for, yes, actually printing the postcards.
oh, okay, so 2,500, 2,900 for mailings.
Correct. We also budgeted 1,400 for the survey platform. Which seems very high, so we've got a little wiggle room there. We budgeted $240 for the email platform. Which we may not need. So.
And you
we-
may not need the survey platform either, right? You're saying?
Correct, we've got a lot of wiggle room in the budget, long story short. So we could very comfortably do 2 mailings
Or 3?
or 3. So since we have so much in the budget to do additional mailings, is a month long enough to leave the survey open, or should we look at a longer period?
Probably look at a longer period. 2 months,
or
2
6
months.
weeks,
I was sort of thinking 2
2
months.
months.
I feel like we wanna get as much feedback as absolutely possible. And especially if, I mean, we're mid-April now. If we don't get this out until end of May, early June, realistically, we're gonna be hitting people right at the busy summertime, so we might need to allow more time to gain feedback, which pros and cons, people are busier, but we also have some seasonal people on the lake that may have additional feedback that we can solicit while they're here. Okay. Just make that note. Next item is reviewing the print ads and mailings. So we're gonna stop saying print ads. I'm just gonna call them mailings. Did everybody have a chance to look at them? Do you want me to read them out loud again? Was that
We're
helpful?
taking some away.
Yes.
Yeah, so what do we have left right now?
So at the edits that I took from last time. So on the mailing postcard is gonna be the QR code, the town logo. And I am just gonna add a note to make sure, I think it would be helpful to maybe have the website in more than one location. Like Mark was saying, like close, it's in the paragraph, but then maybe it also needs to be under the QR code. So the mailing says, the town of Canadice needs your input. The town is undertaking an update to its comprehensive plan. In each update, the town solicits input from residents to voice their opinion. Visit canadice.org or scan the QR code to take the survey. Learn more about what a comprehensive plan is and why it's important. You can also sign up to receive emails from the town of Canadice regarding meetings, highway operations, important information from the clerk's office, and more. Hard copies available at town hall, surveys due by whatever day we choose, they're due by.
But in the survey itself, we're eliminating some questions.
Oh, yeah, that's an agenda item.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. Do I pump the brakes? So any additional edits, thoughts on that?
Yeah. I would say the town of Candice would like your input, and I don't need to think it. Instead of saying needs.
Your, would
And
capitalize your like that or?
now.
Okay.
Would like your input.
Capital, exclamation or
No, just, well,
no? Deadpan.
it's just a statement.
Okay.
And I would say the town of Candice instead of the town. Just because. I don't know, you could say the town, doesn't matter. And then under learn more about what a comprehensive plan is. Why it's important, I don't think you need to put that in, I would take that out. Because isn't that what we're explaining and what a comprehensive plan is?
I'd leave the why it's important in there, because if they don't go, they don't know until they go to the link why it's important. So I think having it here might be a little more of a subtle oomph for them.
I'm hesitant to remove it too. Like, I really wanna like needle people a little bit. Like, I want them to feel like, I need to find out why that's important. Like, why is it important? I don't know. Anybody else have a strong feeling either way?
Good. Strong feelings.
Birch, are you okay with leaving it?
No, but. You asked my opinion. Well,
I-
we're already stating, go to, I don't know, it just seems why it's important.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of redundancy there, but I don't think it hurts. I think it helps. Sometimes redundancy is good.
I feel pretty strongly that it should stay. I feel like it's a little bit more of a hook to get them to go to that landing page, to get them to look at it. Cause if I didn't know what it was and I was like learning more about what a comprehensive plan is, I was like, eh. But I feel like the why it's important is like that, like hook to help draw them in.
You could put it in a sentence earlier too, I mean, if it's important, say it early. But I'm fine if you wanna, I mean, it's my opinion.
I'm not opposed to moving it earlier. Did you have a thought of where it should go? To me, that seems the most natural place.
Let's not overthink this.
Yeah.
We just had-
Let's move
Yeah,
on.
I'm always in favor of fewer words. They need to get read, because
You feel it's too lengthy.
I think, I mean. Where in the postcard is this gonna go?
So what
mean,
about
The
if
5x7 postcards cost as much to mail as the smaller ones. I think you want something, I mean, I look at Vistaprint and I think put something nice together for the front, and then on the back, on the left, you know, you have the mailing address on the right, so you split the 5x7 in half, and then you say what you want.
Mhm.
Hopefully, what you're putting on the front is, you know, graphically the logo, Town of Canada's comprehensive plan. Make them turn it over. Your input is important to us or important to the town.
What if we scratch the first sentence and combine it with the second, and instead we say the town is undertaking an update to its comprehensive plan and would like your input? In each update, the town solicits input from residents to voice their opinion. We could lose that sentence.
Well, even each update, I mean, because we're gonna say we're doing the update, right?
Yeah, what if we lost that whole second sentence?
Yeah,
The town is undertaking an update to its comprehensive plan and would like your input. Visit canadice.org or scan the QR code to take the survey. Learn more about what a comprehensive plan is and why it's important. You can also sign up to receive emails from the town of Canadice.
but we want to since we're saying to take the survey, we might want to somehow say it maybe on the front of the postcard, something about your survey import is important or something.
What if,
I mean, you're saying to take the survey, but you might want to say somewhere before that, that we're doing a survey.
what if we take the first sentence and put it on the front with the graphic? And the back starts, visit canadice.org or scan the QR code to take a survey instead of the survey. Take a survey, learn more about what a comprehensive plan is and why it is important.
Yeah, I think we gotta play around with what's gonna be on the front.
I would also, be willing, Birch, if you wanna maybe take this over, it seems like you looked into Vistaprint a little bit.
Right.
I know QuickPrints is a little bit, I don't know if you're comfortable with like some of the design stuff for the front, but I'd be happy if you wanted to kind of spearhead this piece of it.
Do we have the logo mark somewhere?
You're muted again, Mark.
Yeah,
Yes, I can get you a logo.
Okay,
I think Steve had it too.
yeah.
I think you designed it.
Yeah. he did that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I can play with the Vistaprint and do a mock-up.
Yeah,
I'll email you guys a couple copies of the logo if you want something different. Steve Ungard is the designer. He could get you any format, size, resolution.
okay.
Oh,
Awesome, yeah, so, I made some additional changes, I, can definitely agree with you, Birch, that, it's maybe a little long, and we need to shorten it, so let me, get this cleaned up a little, and I'll get an updated copy over to you, and then if you wanna.
What we're really trying to do is get people to take the postcard and go to the website.
Yes,
Then we can tell them more about what a comprehensive plan is, why it's important. Or take the survey and don't even read the other if they want.
yep,
What we really want to do is people to go direct, we want people to do the survey.
we want people to do the survey, and we want them to sign up to get emails from us. It's kind of a two-pronged, but yes, it is a drive to website postcard. So,
Creating a sense of urgency.
yes, getting that like, look, participate in your local government.
So we can take some of this money and put it into a prize that you get and earn
The first
$50.
Okay.
The first 100 people get.
I kind of like the idea, I don't know if legally, like, everybody who takes the survey is entered to like
Prize.
win something. I don't know that we could do cash, but could we do? I
They
don't-
could lead the Pledge of Allegiance to the
It's like
town
the board meeting.
board. How's that?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get a lot.
Ooh, that's an exciting prize, but,
You can get a hug from your local highway worker,
There you go.
How about the
that?
superintendent?
maybe.
I wonder, what about like, yeah, they could ride in plow truck or something, like take a ride around. I don't know, I sort of like
3 in
that
the morning?
idea. You have to be really careful, it can't ever be gifting of municipal resources.
Yes,
But
I was more kidding.
I know, but I sort of like that idea.
It is, that'd be somebody to do something. Sure.
Well, if you come in and pick up a survey, you get a piece of candy.
Yeah, it's-
You know, we
What
do
about
that with, our backyard compost bins, everybody who
Yeah.
signs up to get emails from us can like be entered to win a raffle. And they can get a backyard compost bin, so,
Did anyone win your last?
it hasn't happened yet.
Oh.
I've got one next week and one on the 30th. So. And I have an event on Saturday, but no, nobody's won them yet. So yeah, anyways, long story short, I'll get this stuff cleaned up. We're gonna scratch the mailing. We do wanna do a flyer, I think, that is maybe just a little bit longer. I don't think you need to spend a ton of time on it because it's probably only gonna go,
Where's the flyer gonna go?
I was thinking here and the library.
So we can use a postcard. I mean, the price of postcard is cheap.
Sure. That's not a bad idea.
And then Eileen will have, we can actually, you could have the surveys at the library. Are you gonna do just this library? Or are you gonna do Wayland? Cause we're Wayland.
But go to money all the time now, post office. Get
Yeah.
stamps.
Right.
And are we concerned
just saying-
about filtering out Canadice residents if we're,
Well, if you're at the library, you
yeah,
got the same issue.
yeah, and that's what I mean, if we're doing either of the libraries, we have
I mean, you could put us,
a postcard on the bulletin.
it's a
board.
problem, no matter what,
If you put it in flesh.
but we don't want everyone.
And
I mean, I really think we're doing a postcard to every tax account. And those are the people we wanna reach.
So that's that.
so we think just a mailing. We don't really need a flyer or print ads.
Well, the mailing is what we're talking about, correct? We're sending out a mail, sending out a postcard,
Several mailing.
Correct.
so that's mailing.
Yes, yep, postcard mailing, same thing. For
And
mail.
maybe just a cut sheet, it goes out with, also with the water bills. Do they go out in a regular envelope or do they go out in a small?
I have no idea. I would assume they go out in a trifold envelope, they're trifold and put in an envelope.
It used to be every 3 months, but I don't know.
I believe it's quarterly billing, yeah.
But you don't get a water bill.
No, I used to own a cottage on the lake, the water. No, came every 3 months. No, I don't get a water. Get a
But it
well
came in
bill.
an envelope or it came in a,
Came in an envelope,
okay.
yeah, it's like a electric bill.
Well, electric bill's a smaller envelope.
Yeah, like I know. It was in an envelope,
No, yeah, I was just curious as far as,
be small.
Okay, so I'll get that over to you, Burge, sooner than later. If you wanna take a stab at that, that would be a huge help. Thank you. Next item. Mark, this is kind of on maybe your to-do list. You had mentioned setting up a form on the website now to start capturing something along the lines of, emails coming soon, sign up now to receive emails from the town of Canadice or something.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. I can, when we get done here, I'll also email to you guys a link for a form I had set up when we were working on the water project. It was submit we had an FAQ page. And then we also had a link off that page where they could submit a question. So it'd be the same idea, and that's pretty easy to do, and it's quick. We can do that ourselves. Nobody else has to be involved. So yeah, whenever you want to do it, we could set something up off the homepage, the town's homepage. The actual implementation is quick once you know where you want to put it, what you want to say, and what you're going to do with them. And I don't know, are we talking about doing this just for the comprehensive plan update, or was this a little bigger in that the town wants to start building a residence email it? Okay, so that's probably something to talk to Christopher and Eileen about.
Yep.
And then however they want to do it, I can implement it. So
Perfect.
it will need to, one of the things to talk about with that is you need to know who that will be submitted to for building the spreadsheet or email address list or whatever you're gonna do. Somebody's got to receive that and process it. In the case of the form that I'll send you guys, I just had it sent to my personal email, but you guys will probably want to do something different. Maybe it's Eileen, I don't know. She ends up getting saddled with a lot of stuff, but
Yeah, I think it's more, right now, we shouldn't ask Eileen to do anything.
Yeah, that's part of a larger conversation about who's gonna be sort of managing some of that email program stuff.
yeah, well, yeah, it goes back to the same with the survey. Somebody's gotta, I don't
So
know.
yeah,
Cool.
I'll set a meeting with Eileen and Supervisor Vastola. Just to check in with them, get them updated on where we're at, and hash out a couple of these items that we need their input on. Okay, perfect. I do want to start getting into the survey. We spent a long time last time going through it. I took
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna go ahead and leave now because I think you guys are in good shape on that, and it sounds like you're really gonna get into the nitty gritty. Just another real sort of side thing, Caitlin, I took a look at this USB drive.
Yeah.
I don't really see anything on it looks terribly useful.
okay.
I'm thinking, just start with the most recent plan and edit from there, and everything that's on this is stuff that was done after my direct involvement. So, but I'll get it back to you. So,
If you wanna just drop it off at town hall, that came from Supervisor Bastola. So you can just return it to him.
okay.
I saved everything, in my own comprehensive plan folder, so, and likewise, I didn't really find a ton of valuable stuff in there. It was kind of.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I'll enclose it out and drop it off for Chris up there.
Our folders going forward are very nicely organized, so whoever comes after us will appreciate the organization structure I've started. After looking at that drive, I was like, I need to keep this organized a little
Yeah.
better.
So you're saying you don't want to be in charge of the next comprehensive plan?
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
You're not making a commitment.
Let's see how the rest of the process goes.
All right.
I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks for all your help, Mark.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ryan, I will go ahead and share our screen so you can follow along with what we're looking at. Here we go. Okay, so our questions, so yes, we tried to pare them down last time. We are down to 28 questions from, I believe it was originally 35 or 36. So if last time we went through mostly the questions, as I was typing up this draft, I realized we needed to look at the answer options a little bit closer. And we can certainly refine the language on the questions as we go along. So question 1, are you a full-time resident, seasonal resident, or landowner residing in Canadice? So you can choose which one you are. That's from the original survey. I made a note, we need to have a none of the above option, and hopefully we can have the functionality in the survey where if they respond to that, they'll just go to like a screen that says, thank you for participating, you're not eligible. So, you know, like we were saying, we need this to just be Canadice residents. If somehow somebody who's not tries to take the survey, we can filter them out right away. Any
And then they
questions?
just back up and check another one. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to filter that, but
Somebody's got too much time on their hands.
yeah.
If they're gonna do that.
Well, there are people out there that,
So question 2, what is the mailing address for your property? That one was also from the original survey. I'm hoping to have the functionality where we have any questions that say other, like on question 2, that they can, like, it automatically opens up like a short answer where they can put in Bristol or something, you know, if it's out.
yeah, the mailing address. What do we mean by that? That means where they get their tax bills
So, like,
or,
I live in the town of Canadice, but my mailing address is a Springwater mailing.
yeah, but I
address.
own property in Canada. I don't live there, but I get my tax bill in Oakland, California.
Okay.
Is that what you mean by other? I mean, is it the mailing address or,
Yeah, that's a really good point, Birch.
But basically you're saying, are you a landowner or a resident? Also be a landowner. But-
landowner residing elsewhere probably gets their tax bills. Their
Right.
mailing address is other.
Yeah, either
Also,
we
they
need to
wouldn't want
rephrase, like, I think the original, this was from the original survey, and I think the intention was like every piece of land.
First of all, does this question mean anything?
Yeah,
We,
that's what I'm
we don't
wondering.
need it.
Do we not need it?
I don't think we need it.
I don't think we need it.
I mean, what are we gonna use it for?
Oh, no.
And I mean, the mailing addresses are kind of arbitrary, right? They're dictated by
The post office.
the post office, which is federal, which is way above our pay grade.
Right.
And they don't care about the information.
I mean, we're not gonna use it in the comprehensive plan. We already know. Our comprehensive plan, we can have a map that designates the postal areas. I don't know if we do or do we in now?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but I mean, it would be an interesting map.
Redundant with question.
It's
number
redundant.
also, so.
And we're trying to make this like we were doing with the postcard. We really want it to be simple and straightforward.
Right.
Okay. Lost that. It's a weird question. Sorry, Ryan, it's gonna be a little clunky going back and forth between the two here. Question 2 is now, is your property located on the lake or do you have lake access rights?
I would say, is your property located on Honeoye Lake? It's the only lake it can't be located on, right? But instead of just saying lake, say Honeoye Lake.
Sure. I agree with that. Question 3, how long have you lived or owned property in Canadice? 0 to 5, 6 to 10, more than 10.
I was wondering if you want to have that 2 separate questions. Just because it might be interesting to know if people own property for 15 years, but they lived, only, you know, they built 5 years ago. I don't know. I just, I'm not sure it matters either.
Get clunky, what if you are a landowner
Okay.
residing elsewhere? I do think that is sort of interesting, but I'm not sure.
Then do you want to expand it, so 10 to 20 or 20 plus? Or maybe kind of interesting if people are living here more than 20 years.
Sure.
I haven't. So,
Well, and it should it be 6 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 plus? Cause what if you
Sure.
lived here 10 years? Are you gonna choose B or C?
Yeah, so.
10, oh, so 6 to 9, 10 to 19. Or more than 20. Okay. Number 4, where do you perform your occupation? Away from home, home, unemployed, or retired? I have seen in. Oh, and I did make this note here. So my note was,
how about a hybrid?
good catch. I can't believe that I missed that. So hybrid, I'm gonna, in parentheses, I'll put home and away from home.
Be working home and away from home.
Yeah.
Home
like-
slash away hybrid? I mean, I think people will understand what hybrid means, but they should.
Like I'm hybrid, like I work
Yes.
from home 2 days a week and I'm in the office 3 days a week. I've also seen, I don't know if we wanna rework this question or add another one. I've seen comprehensive plan surveys where it asks where you're performing your occupation. So like, are you working in Canadice? Are you working in Ontario County? Are you working outside of Ontario County? Is there value in understanding what, if people are commuting or not?
Not sure. You got a
Well,
question later.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think traditionally everyone has commuted,
Yeah.
and a lot of people commuted to Rochester, but other people commuted to Canandaigua. I don't know what the mix is now.
I don't know if it matters. Does it matter? Comprehensive plan.
I think as we're talking about pieces of the plan that have to do with transportation and infrastructure and stuff, there could, I guess there's more value in knowing if they're working at home, unemployed, retired, they're not using the roads. If they're working away from home, they are using the roads. Maybe we're answering. I just think for some of the transportation pieces, there's potential value to that. I'm not really sure.
Do we want to separate unemployed and retired or not? Or not employed?
Or leave it out, leave it employed out. Retired is fine.
I mean,
All over, hybrid and all that, but
people might be unemployed. My husband's unemployed right now.
no, I'm not saying they aren't, but I mean, it's the question, this is a question.
And I wouldn't put it as unemployed, I'd put it as not employed.
You know,
So separate them and put one as not employed? Does that get confusing?
no, I don't think so.
What comes first, retired or not? employed?
Retired.
Retired should be A. Don't you think that's the most important?
But being retired.
The unemployed is pretty much answered by the question. If you're unemployed, you don't have an occupation.
if we. Do we need to have prefer not to answer? What if somebody's employed and doesn't wanna tell us?
It's up to them, they just leave the question blank.
Or, well, then you could put a E, prefer not to answer. But then
I
you
guess
could do
that's
that.
true, they could just leave it
They
blank
can just leave it
if they
blank.
don't
Leave it
wanna
blank.
answer.
We have to give them some credit there.
Okay, so,
And I'm assuming if you're a homemaker, that's considered an occupation.
Jesus,
No, I just want to make sure that
they're not
I-
affecting it.
I
would
consider that an occupation.
It definitely is. for
Okay.
sure. Definitely is.
and yeah,
We won't get any
it's one of,
blowback from that. Okay.
that's probably one of the hardest jobs working from home.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what did we think? Did we want a second question? That says something about. You know, do you work in Canadice, in Ontario County, outside Ontario County, unemployed, or do we think that
You could-
information?
You could make it, if you commute for work, what distance do you travel?
Oh, I like that.
0 to 10? 10 to. What Canandaigua, 30, 25, well, 30? Rochester's 40.
You do it minutes, how many minutes away from Canton?
Yeah, you could do time. How long is your commute?
Mine?
No, I mean,
Oh,
General.
the question, instead of. If you commute for work. How long is your commute? 0 to 15, 16 to 20,
yeah, cause the insurance company always asks me how far my commute is in miles and I never have any idea, but I know how far I drive in time. So we said 0 to 15. 16.
to 25, 20, 25. And then
26.
6 plus.
I think we should do 26 to 40 and 40 plus,
41 plus.
41 plus. Over 41. Number 6, what was the most influential reason for your decision to reside or own property in Canadice? That's a short answer. Number 7, if you are uncertain about remaining in Canadice for its reasons would cause you to move.
High taxes. I'll answer for everyone. That's what they're gonna say.
Cost of living in New York State seemed to be a common response on the last survey.
Yeah. Oppressive government.
Number 8, what do you perceive are the most pressing problems concerning the town of Canadice? Again, a short answer. Number 9, I just made a note, should have asked Joe what he was here.
I asked him
Oh, wonderful.
earlier this week, so, the way the question was worded initially, it was, involved the Ontario County Soil and Water, which doesn't do any of that anymore.
Yeah, so the original way the question was worded was. Currently, all newer replacement wastewater and septic leach systems in Canadice are designed and built to New York State standards and are tested and approved by Ontario. I should say Ontario County Soil and Water and New York State Health Department. The town becomes involved with existing septic leach systems on a complaint basis only. Should the town take a more active role by requiring that all septic leach systems have periodic inspections?
So the
There's a lot.
inspections are not done by Ontario County Soil and Water. They are done by the engineer that designs the system, who is basically certified by the New York State Department of Health. So it's still relevant that the New York State Department of Health is in there, but Ontario County doesn't have anything to do with it anymore.
Do they actually, are they certified by the Department of Health, or does it just have to be an engineered plan?
I believe if you're designing septic system, if you're an engineer designing septic systems like Bill Grove, you are certified through the Department of Health.
Okay, I mean, I'm going back 12 years or more, when we built our house. Because Ontario County does not have a health department. There's no count, if you're in Monroe County, the health department has to approve the plans. The only requirement was that it need to be designed by an engineer. And stamped by an engineer. He was not, quote, certified, although he did a number of them. He was not certified by the state. And I was able to get a building permit or a permit off of his stamped drawings.
Well, it used to be 12 years ago, Soil and Water was involved. Did George Barton didn't come out
No,
and inspect?
no one, no, in the town of Canada, it's because if the county has a health department, they're responsible for it. But no one, all I had to do was submit plans to the CEO and I had stamped plans and we built to that and, you know, because the engineer, by stamping those plans, takes responsibility for it. So that, I'm just saying, that's how it was when we
And
did
he's
our,
the one that does the final inspection after the system is installed,
the CEO.
the engineer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's responsible.
Right, that's the way it's currently
Right.
set up right now.
And if something goes wrong, he's responsible
Right.
forever.
So
It's like an architect is always,
this question was overwhelmingly 71% said no. Their comments on if it's not broke, don't fix it. On a complaint basis is a very good idea. I would propose this question in its form now is not relevant. But what we are seeing a lot is that our town code regarding septic systems could potentially need to be updated because it's so strict. Because
well, it's only strict as far as setback,
The setback.
But-
of setbacks.
every time that gets overridden, so.
So should we, I mean, but I guess the general public isn't gonna know that we have strict codes regarding setbacks.
Unless they put a septic in.
But, so I don't know, do we wanna,
I don't think it's relevant.
it's not relevant in its current state. Do we wanna ask anything about if the town code should be updated regarding septic setbacks?
No.
Excuse me, I'm at to leave.
Okay, no problem,
Pick
Jim.
my daughter up at school.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So we're scratching septic. Thank you so much, Jeremy. What services would you like the town to provide? Example, transportation, senior citizen activities, refuse collection, recycling, fire, police, security protection, or other.
I don't think you can do any of those. I think refuge collection, fire.
You could set up a refuge district if you wanted. We could set up a fire department if we wanted. We could set up a police department if we wanted.
They're expensive.
I don't think we're gonna do.
No,
that.
I looked at this and I'm like, well, you can take the fire,
Anybody's got a hard time keeping theirs going.
I don't know, that's a tough one. Even when it,
I do think it's.
are there any services that are not provided you now that you would like to see the town see provided in the town? Well, or just, you know,
Yeah, I understand.
Personally, I know that we have access to the town of Richmond transfer station, but it's only open for a
Saturday.
few hours on a Saturday morning, which isn't doable for our schedule. I'd like to see expanded transfer station services available to town residents.
Where are you gonna do that?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Oh, you could have additional hours at, you know, the town of Richmond, if the town were to partner on that.
Okay,
You know,
so,
there's a lot of things that can be done also through like shared service agreements. Things like senior citizen activities could be done through shared services.
well, they do that shared now with the town of Richmond.
Yeah, so like things like
Have you
that.
ever been to that?
When?
Oh, I thought you were
Oh,
looking at
the
me.
church lunches? No, I know some people who have, yeah,
Do you?
they go
Okay.
regularly, yeah. My work goes all the time.
I think we need to leave this question. It was on the previous surveys. It is a bit of a Pandora's box, but I think that
I think we could leave it, but I'm thinking of
what the
can we
list of
reword
things
it?
should
Can
be.
we reword it so that what services, what additional services would you like to see? In addition, how would you say this?
Yeah, I think it.
Something about, what, are there any additional services that are not provided by the town of Canadice that you would like to see? So you would put
Transportation.
more
Like Spain and
hours,
Transfer station.
more hours for refuse drop off. So you don't use the garbage service.
Only like if we like are doing some spring cleaning and like cleaned out the shed and had some odds and ends that didn't fit in our toter.
Who has?
Or if I
You have
scrap,
you have a total then,
yeah, I pay for curbside pickup
right? What do you,
instead of going to a transfer station.
so you get 2 barrels
Yep,
and you don't, I mean, I find I can fill those.
occasionally
don't
there's
even
been
have-
like, we've done like a big cleanup and we had like a bulky item that wouldn't fit in there, like a broken lawn chair
Right.
or maybe like a scrap metal item or something that we needed to take down there. Or like we hosted a celebration of life and we had extra bags and
Right,
things like that that we ran down there. And if no, the
actually,
town-
extend,
Oh, really?
expanded hours, you can go to Wayland too.
Yeah, Wayland's really good. Big stuff.
That's Steuben County, but they don't ask you where you're from.
Oh, no. They just,
I take my used oil down there. And they have longer hours.
They took almost anything.
Yeah.
Only part of the drive.
Not comfortable for doing that for a couple of reasons, but
Oh,
that's
Richmond
another
has
story.
that, so.
But I probably wouldn't pay for curbside service, which is expensive and about to get more expensive. If the transfer station was open more hours, I would utilize a transfer station at lower cost if it was more convenient to do so. Well, if the town of Richmond and Canadice partnered to expand.
Yeah.
Services and hours offered. But,
Okay, so reword it.
so what additional services would you like the town to provide?
That's good.
What additional service which are not? Yeah, okay.
I'm wondering if we should have a comma, what additional services would you like the town to provide? Comma, recognizing additional services have additional costs or something? Do we wanna like?
No,
No, okay. Do we wanna change this list at all? We have transportation,
I would,
senior activities, refuse collection, recycling, fire, police, security protection, other.
I would take those out and let people fill in what they think they would like.
I like having some.
I mean, we're not gonna get any more fire, police or security protection.
I mean, you can do, enhanced law enforcement with like Ontario County if we think there's speeding on County Road 36 and they, you basically do this contract with the county and they have additional patrols on County Road 36 because there's been complaints of speeding.
And they charge for that?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I would think that's the responsibility of the town board. You'd make the complaint to the supervisor and he contacts the law enforcement and said, you know, I want to see
Yeah,
more going on there, but I wouldn't expect to pay any more than that for that.
I'm not sure exactly how those contracts work. I don't know all the details. I do know that municipalities can contract for, it's called enhanced law enforcement. And then basically you get like a report too. Like, we pulled over X amount of people on, you know, if you identify certain roads that are problem areas for that enhanced law enforcement, agreement, you get a report, like we pulled over X amount of people, so many people for speeding, this person for no inspection, yada, yada.
Okay. Well,
Okay. So 10, in your opinion, what town ordinances need to be better enforced? How do you find out what is happening in your town government? Check all that apply. Anything on this list we're missing? We have Penny Saver, word of mouth, town website, social media, attend town meetings, lack of information, or other.
what's lack of information mean?
That means you don't feel like you're getting enough information from the town. But I agree that could be worded better. Not enough information provided.
Well, but then no, you're asking how they find out what's happening.
I don't know how to find out.
No, you're asking, how do they find out?
Yeah, but what if they
But
don't?
lack of information is,
So should we change
I would
that?
take lack of information out.
Should we change that to I don't know how to find information?
No,
I think there should be something,
Yeah, I don't know how to
Like
find
that.
information, like, can go up here, talk to Eileen, talk to Chris.
yeah, I think there should be some. Cause that was a lot of feedback in the last survey was people want better communication.
well, that didn't work out very well.
And we are gonna get that email program up and running. What is the best way for the town government to communicate with you? By mail, by email, website, other?
How about, did you know you have a town website?
Because there's a lot of info.
All right,
Which 3 town roads do you use the most? I need to get the updated list from Jeremy, just making sure all the roads are up to date.
what question is that?
13.
It's halfway there. 14. Yeah, I remember that part. Talked about it last meeting.
Okay,
Did you find it okay?
Yeah.
Number 14, please rate the quality of snow removal and salting service.
I'd give more options. I'd do
On
it like a
road.
0 to 10 or something like that, you know, 0 to 5, 0 to 10.
Okay,
Satisfied, somewhat satisfied, not, you know, give them 5 different options or something.
somewhat. Let me think about what other, so satisfied, somewhat satisfied. What are 2 more options in there, Birch?
I don't know,
I think 3 is enough.
I would, no, I would do it like 5,
Rate,
satisfied, unsatisfied. I don't know right now,
okay,
we're getting late.
Yes.
We've been thinking too much.
14 is coming up very soon now.
I'll, oops. Okay. Please rate the general quality of town highways and road shoulders, good, fair, poor, dangerous.
I'd break those out. I think the highways and the shoulders are, I mean, I think some of the ditches are too big, so I'd rate shoulders as dangerous, but the highways I'd rate as good,
Yes, excellent.
well,
I think,
except for one. Canada's Hill Road,
oh, that's correct. You haven't talked to them about that.
well, we can't all get our road paved,
Oh, that took 30 years.
yeah.
I'll make that note. I would agree with that. What is your opinion of the road signs and road striping within the town? Are you wanting to for that one?
No, you can leave it, and I don't know about the dangerous, I mean, that's very, But if they-
17, what are your biggest concerns about the environment in the town? Check all that apply. Water quality of lakes, logging deforestation, wind turbines or large solar farms, degrading or non-compliant septic systems, waste reduction and disposal, illegal dumping of waste, other. Birch, I would definitely value your opinion on that question, and if it is getting too late and we would want to put a pin in it and return to this next meeting, we can.
Remember that, but I do have one question.
Okay.
Did we put, back short-term rental?
yeah, we
I-
definitely need questions on short-term rental.
Yeah, I have 22, I have STR, and I didn't know how to phrase the question, yeah.
I have some input on that.
Okay.
I don't know if you wanna do it now.
I would,
No.
it's getting kind of late. for
No,
me.
okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna bring it up in planning. board.
okay,
I took another course on dangerous, I think, versus. I learned what Lake George did to fix short-term rentals.
well, I will
But we'll have to
definitely,
wait
The
for
question
planning
is-
board meeting.
The question,
Yeah, but it needs.
they didn't fix it.
Why'd you say that?
did you take that training too? I was signed up.
No,
for
no,
it,
there's
but I
no,
didn't.
there's no, every town and village is different, so to say to fix it,
No, they fixed it for Lake George. Lake George fixed itself. I'm only replying to Lake George.
yeah,
That's it.
but we'll see if 5 years down the road if they think that's a fix.
Yeah, but 5 years. That's a long time. But.
Yeah,
It's a good solution,
I was
I'll
on,
be interested to hear more about it. It's a very complicated
very
issue.
complicated.
I thought
Would be-
in hindsight, I think we way over regulated. I think our short-term rental law is way too complicated. I don't even think you need a short-term rental law. You restrict them or you don't. The whole idea of the government going and inspecting stuff and making sure it's safe and all that.
It's for high density areas like. The rest of Lake George is regular run, Katie can get the whatever you want. It's for high density areas. And I think it's too strict.
Well, there's some areas like Victor, you can't, it's outlawed.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's kind of what they did, and a really interesting one.
Okay, well, let's put a pin in it. So we're stopping at question 18, was that correct?
Sure,
17. We're on 17.
the new 17.
And I'll be interested in, specifically your input, Birch, on the check all that apply answers there. 'Cause I think that you would have some valuable input there. For next meeting, that's where we'll pick up.
Pressure. Why? It's not gonna go away. Every week it'll be work. A new crack. I don't think you can. We're scheduled for